I am about to hurt some feelings with today's video, and for that, I am sorry. In today's video, I will be sharing all of the popular books that I just refuse to read, no matter how many times you guys recommend these books to me, no matter how many times I see them on TikTok, on Instagram, I just refuse to read them. This list is actually not that long, so don't worry. I'm pretty much down to read anything. Normally, when you guys recommend a book to me, I add it to my Amazon cart immediately. I'm not really picky when it comes to trying out new books, but these books I come across time and time again, and there's literally nothing in the world that would make me want to pick them up. Also, a quick disclaimer, if your favorite book is mentioned in today's video, literally no hard feelings. Just because I don't want to read your favorite book doesn't mean anything. Like, it can still be your favorite book. You can still love a book and I can still not want to read that same book. It doesn't change anything. We all have different opinions, so this is just for fun, okay? No hard feelings. I made a list of all the books that I don't want to ever read, and again, the list is pretty small. I didn't write down the authors' names though, so if I can't remember the author's name, I will have it on the screen here. But the first book that I wrote down was My Dark Vanessa. I looked up the synopsis on this book because the title alone really grabbed my attention, so I looked it up and then I quickly realized that this is just not the book for me. It talks about certain topics that I just don't like reading about, so I stay away from those types of books. And not only that, but I was reading some of the reviews and a lot of people said that this book was pretty dark and it included graphic scenes that were not really necessary to deliver the point of the book. Again, I'm just going off reviews. I haven't read the book, so I really don't know if this is true or not, but I don't want to find out. So this is just a book that I'm not interested in reading. The topic alone is enough for me to stay away from it. The next book is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is a super popular book. I've literally seen this book everywhere. A bunch of YouTubers have done reading vlogs with this book. I've seen it all over TikTok and Instagram. And the plot of this book does not seem entertaining to me at all. I think it's by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've actually never read any of her books. None of her books appeal to me at all. I don't know why. I come across her books all the time when I go to Barnes and Noble, but none of her synopses or book covers make me want to pick up her books. Like, I don't know why, I just don't care to, so I never have picked up any of her books. But specifically The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, the plot just doesn't seem appealing to me. It doesn't seem like it's something that I would be interested in, and because this book is so hyped, I feel like I am going to read it and absolutely hate it because I've heard so much about it and my expectations are so high that there's no way that my expectations are going to be met. And for that reason, I decided that I'm never going to read it. You know, when a book is super hyped and then you take a very long time to actually read it, you're let down. That's how I feel with The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I feel like I'm going to be let down. And trust me, I've walked by this book like a million times. Every time I pick it up, I put it back down. Literally, there's nothing in this world that's going to make me want to buy this book and read it. The next book on my list is actually another Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have nothing against this author. I don't want you guys to think that I'm hating on the author because honestly, I respect every single author out there, even if I don't like their books, because they take so much time out of their lives to write a book and to perfect it in their own way. So who am I to judge an author? Even if I don't like them, I still respect them a lot. And the next book on my list is Daisy Jones and the Six. My reasons for this book are very similar to The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It doesn't seem like a book that I would pick up on my own without TikTok, so why would I pick it up now? Like, I just don't care for it. And I know that people rave about it. This book is loved by literally millions of people. And good for you guys. Like, if you love this book, I'm so happy for you. Like, keep on loving it. But I just don't care to read it. And I've heard so much about this book that at this point, I feel like I've already read it. So why pick it up? You know? The next book is A Little Life. By the cover alone, I know that I have no business picking up this book, and I've seen so many thumbnails on reading vlogs of people reading this book and crying on their thumbnail, so I have no interest in making myself cry with reading a book. Like, why would I read a book that is going to break my heart and make me sob for hours? It's okay if I read a romance book that has like a very sad, you know, plot line, fun, that I can handle, but a book that was made specifically to be sad and full of misery, I don't care for. Like, the world is scary enough. I don't need to read books that are going to make me cry for hours. No, thank you. I'll take all the fluffy, cute, funny romance books out there, but I will not read a book that was written to be heartbreaking on purpose. Like, no, thank you. I'm not doing it. So, never going to read this book, and honestly, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, so we're good over here. The next book that I'll probably never read is actually a series, and it is the Summer I Turned Pretty series. This series is very popular. The Amazon show just came out like 2 months ago. A lot of people were raving about it. I love the fact that people love this book, and if you love this book, more power to you, but it just doesn't seem interesting to me. I feel like that is the theme of today's video. Specifically, this one is YA, and I'm not really into YA books. It's very rare when I actually enjoy a YA book, and I just find them so predictable. I find them so cheesy. Maybe because I'm 27 years old that I just can't relate to those books anymore. Like, I know that people my age love those books, and if you are my age or older and you love YA, keep on loving YA. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean that you can't like it. It just doesn't appeal to me at all. The TV show doesn't appeal to me. I have no interest in watching it. The only time I'll probably watch that show if my niece Julie was here with me and she wanted to watch it, then I would be like, okay, let's watch it. The books get a lot of praise, but again, I just don't care enough to read them, you know? Okay, this next book is going to garner a lot of negative responses. I already know. I will never read Conversations with Friends or anything by Sally Rooney. Again, I respect Sally Rooney as an author. I just don't like her writing. I don't like her books. Normal People frustrated me like no tomorrow. I absolutely despise that book. It is the only book that I've given a 1 star to this year. I didn't like it. I found the characters to be super annoying. The miscommunication was something that I just could not get behind. I've tried to pick up Conversations with Friends. Is that's what it's called? Yeah, Conversations with Friends. I've tried to pick it up, but the synopsis reminds me so much of Normal People that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let other people enjoy Sally Rooney's books. I'm just going to stay over here and probably just read Colleen Hoover. Okay. The next book that I'll probably never read is You Reach Sam. I think this book is also YA, which is another reason why I'll probably never read it. And second, the synopsis itself is something that I'm deathly afraid of. Like, I'm deathly afraid of my husband passing away. So I don't want to read a book that is going to make that fear worse and that is going to break my heart. So I'll never read that book. A couple of you guys actually recommended this book to me and told me that it was a beautiful story, and that's fine. Like, I'm glad it was beautiful, but you'll never catch me reading that book on my channel. I will say that I absolutely love the cover. I think the cover is absolutely beautiful, 10 out of 10. But again, why would I read a sad book on purpose? I won't. Next book that I'll probably never read is Dune. I've seen this book a lot this year. I think it's because the movie came out this year with Zendaya. I love Zendaya. Like, I've followed her career since Hello Disney Channel, Shake It Up. Like, come on now. But even though I love her, I will not sit through that movie. It's not a genre of a movie that I care for. And the book is hella thick. Like, I know I read Sarah J Maas books this year, but the Dune book just looks so overwhelming and it looks so boring that I have no interest in ever reading it. If by any chance I'm curious to know what happens in that book, I'll probably just end up watching the movie and maybe falling asleep. And similar to that, I will also never read the Game of Thrones series. How many books are in that series? A shit ton. I never was a fan of the show. I think I watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes of that show and I was like, what the hell is going on? I just never got into it. My best friend at the time was obsessed with that show and I never understood why. I feel like there's way too many books in that series for me to even attempt to start reading that series. I don't know. It's another series that just overwhelms overwhelms me. Hunger Games is another series I'll probably never read as well, now that we're on the topic of series. That actually wasn't on my list, but I'm throwing Hunger Games in there because I just didn't care for the movies all that much. I think I only enjoyed the second movie and absolutely hated the first and the third one. If I didn't read the books when the movies first came out, I am not going to read them now. Like, if I didn't read them back then, why would I read them now? So that's another series that I'll probably never read. And it's funny that that series is now becoming popular again, similar to Twilight. Everything's like coming full circle. All these books that were super popular when I was younger are now popular again, which I love that a new generation is discovering these books, but I'm just never going to read the Hunger Games. So those are all the popular books that I'll probably never read in my life. Again, no offense if your favorite book was on this list, like you can still continue on loving said book, but I just don't care to read any of the books on this list. Let me know in the comments below, what's a very popular book that you see absolutely everywhere but you just refuse to read it or to pick it up? I would love to know. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. This was just all for fun. Don't take it seriously. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you on my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.